Hello everyone, this is Mac from SW Randall Toys in Pittsburgh, and today I'm reviewing the Vertigo helicopter in the Elite Fleet line by a company called Kid Galaxy. Now we do carry only two different companies that make RC helicopters. One is Kid Galaxy, which is a little less quality than the Air Hogs line that we're used to carrying. This Kid Galaxy helicopter is styrofoam. It's orange styrofoam. They only make two models. One is on channel A, one is on channel B. Obviously, if you buy more than two helicopters, you may have a little problem because one controller can then potentially control two helicopters. Maybe that's fun for you, maybe it's not. But if you have two kids and you're going to buy two helicopters, buy the two different ones. One's on channel A, one's on channel B. Therefore, the controllers won't interfere with the other helicopters. Now, last Christmas, I could tell you our Air Hogs company that makes the RC helicopters as well, most of them were returned to the store because people, kids mainly, inserted this charging cord into the helicopter the wrong way and bent the pins. They are delicate pins. It's a very narrow cord. You want to make sure you put that in one way. It even says in the directions here, let's look, one-way plug-in. Make sure you do that the right way. Come in from the back. Put it in there. Okay, be careful. Those pins can bend and break easily. Now, this is a styrofoam helicopter by the Elite Fleet company, Kid Galaxy. And what I could tell you is this thing will break easily. I have a ceiling fan in the room, and if that went into the fan, it'd probably hack off one of these blades back here. So you got to be careful of that. In fact, in the directions, which is a little foreboding, look, there's a section on repairing. Apply transparent tape to mend any damage that might be encountered. Well, that implies that it's going to break, okay? That bothers me a little bit. These directions tell me this thing will break eventually, and to use Scotch tape to fix it. So, you know, we can't do anything except see how it works here right now. It's charging. You can see the red light is on. My control is set to the right. The switch on the bottom of the helicopter is set to off on charge. There is a little switch over there. And another thing I could tell you real quick about this controller, it takes 6 AA batteries. We all know how expensive batteries are nowadays, but it takes 6 of them. Charge time's about 20 minutes. I believe this light will either shut off or turn green when it's charged, and then you got to flip this switch over to the other side. If you put it in the middle, it's off. Oh, we got dual lights going on. Now it's in the middle, it's off. So now it's back on charge. So I'm going to let this finish charging, and we'll see how it flies. I didn't let it charge all the way for the full 20 minutes because I wanted to get this over with. But what I'm going to show you here is this cord does tuck in here to this little compartment. I probably won't be able to get it in there right now, but anyways, there is a compartment for that. What you do is you'll switch this over to the left. It is technically on now. What I'm going to do is switch the switch on the bottom of the helicopter to on. There's a little switch. Flip that. The propellers may spin a bit. One thing I can warn you about is the first time I turned the switch on the controller to on and the switch on the helicopter to on and tried to pilot it, it didn't work. That was a little disturbing to me. I thought it was broken, but what you got to do is if that happens, turn the switch on the helicopter off and back on again, and then it should work. If not, turn the switch on both off, back on, then it should work. It's a little annoying, and I was a little bothered. I thought I had a broken helicopter, but it turned out fine. Now what I'm going to do is try to film this. The throttle wheel is right here on the left. You start turning this up, and as you turn it up, the helicopter will start to move, right? Now to get it to take off, you're going to have to crank that thing up pretty fast, but at the same time, you got to watch out. I have a ceiling fan in here. It could hit the fan. And if you start cranking it up and it flies, you got to just ease down on it a little bit at the same time to try to get it to hover. So we'll try to see if I could film this helicopter taking off. It'll be a little difficult. I'm filming this myself, but let's see what I can do. I'm going to crank this wheel up. Oh, there goes the ceiling. Turn it down, turn it back up. It's hard to find the right balance here. Oh, came down on me. Now I can tell you when it hits the floor, turn that wheel all the way down. If this hits the floor, crank that wheel down all the way. Because if that motor's still running but the propellers aren't turning, you're going to wear your motor out in there. Okay, now it's hard to film and use the controls on this. Apparently they do have a turning control. and these two buttons on the back to turn the helicopter itself. I must tell you, they don't work out too well. You honestly can't control it too well if you have a ceiling fan running in the room like I do. But I can honestly tell you, this thing is still really fun just to watch it take off. And look what's happened now. Turning the wheel up, doesn't go. Turning the wheel up, doesn't go. Turning it down. What you got to do if that happens, which is annoying, turn the switch off on the bottom of your helicopter, turn it back on, set it down. Here we go again. Now you can start piloting again. My backdrop. Oh. Crank it down a little bit. Oh, don't hit the fan. Crank it up. So you can see it's going pretty well. Oh, the fan took it. Let's see what happens when the fan takes it. Let's go over here. Let's assess the damages. What broke? What broke? I saw a piece fly off of there. Could have just been a piece of paint from the bottom here, from the black, but you gotta be careful with this. Obviously don't pilot in a room with a fan, because it will get messed up. I don't even know what piece flew off it, honestly. I saw something hit the deck. Doesn't look like it was any part of the propellers. But you know, these retail at about 35 to 40 bucks, and once again I crashed. Look, it's not going to work. Okay? I don't know how the RC air hogs work. I've yet to review one of those, but here, let's see what we got to do. Flip it over, switch off, turn it back on. See, there is a little red LED light in there indicating that it's on. Now it should be ready to go again. Start turning the switch. There it goes. But you see now my propellers are a little bent. Oh! So, you know, for 35 to 40 bucks, it's a cool little toy. Obviously you don't want to use it in a room with a ceiling fan. Is it worth the money? I'd say yes, it is. If you take care of it and you don't fly it in a room with a fan like I showed you, because now my propellers are all out of whack. If I hold this horizontal, look at those are tilted. Okay, now they are delicate, you could bend them back, but who knows how long this thing will last you. What I would suggest is flying it outside, because if the helicopter flies too high up in the air, it's going to lose signal, it's just going to come back down anyway, so it's not like it'll just fly into the sky forever, okay? Do it in a big room with bigger ceilings than my 10-foot tall ceilings. I don't know how many of you have bigger than 10-foot tall ceilings, but just be careful. You know, this thing can break easily. It's styrofoam. Like they showed you in the directions, you repair it with tape. I think it's worth it. Honestly, the first time I tried it, I just had fun just watching it take off. I couldn't use the controls at all. They didn't really seem to do much. These banking controls seem to actually make it turn left and right, pivot left and right. But you know what? If you have any wind or air source moving in where you live, your home or your apartment, a fan, even a tower fan that oscillates, it's gonna mess up how this thing goes. But still pretty fun. Retails about 35 to 40 bucks depending on where you get one. Once again, this is the Vertigo helicopter in the Elite Fleet line, and it's made by Kid Galaxy. And that's about it. Let me know what you think.